In the Impact segment tonight, reaction to our interview with Anthony Scaramucci and President-elect Trump's escalating fight with the intelligence community and the press. Joining us now from Washington, California, Congressman Brad Sherman, a Democrat. Now, Congressman, I want to get to your reaction to the previous segment, but first, you were at a very contentious meeting today with FBI Director James Comey. Here's how one of your Democratic colleagues described it.
I can just report that my confidence in the FBI director's ability to lead this agency has been shaken.
Was it a heated exchange at any point between lawmakers?
There was some heat. There was some heat, a lot of unanswered questions.
So, Congressman Sherman, can you tell us what happened at that meeting?
Well, there are two contentions around Mr. Comey. One was, of course, 11 days before the election, his statements about Hillary's email. That had an important impact. Whether he handled that correctly or not, most Democrats do not believe he handled it correctly. The second issue was, through what steps did he inform the Democratic National Committee that they had been subject to a major hack? Debbie Wasserman Schultz was there and made the point that no one called her personally, and perhaps they did little more than call the 800 number where you get a volunteer. So we're going to get Debbie Wasserman Schultz, who headed the DNC, is going to get a briefing as to what efforts the FBI made to really bring it to the attention of top DNC personnel that they had been subject to this incredible hack.
And Congressman, I'll just read a couple of quotes from some of your colleagues on the Democrat side who were at that briefing on the way out. I no longer have confidence in him, meaning James Comey. That's from Tim Waltz, a Democrat from Minnesota. I'm extremely concerned, that's Elijah Cummings, Maryland's Democrat. And I'll just say I'm very angry, California's Mark Takano, one of your colleagues from California. I mean, literally, is everyone this angry about the way that the DNC was notified about the information, about the emails, and this is what's really making everyone that crazy, losing confidence in the director of the FBI over this email notification to the DNC?
Well, Comey's got a 10-year term, and I think that many Democrats would prefer him to anyone likely to be appointed as his replacement. As to whether the FBI made a serious effort to inform the top executives of the DNC, Comey has promised a detailed briefing, but has admitted that they never called the number one person, who is Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Whether they contacted the general counsel or other executives, we're going to have to see. So that's an issue. Obviously, his statement 11 days before the election is controversial. I have some level of faith in James Comey, and probably more faith in him than, say, General Flynn, who has been appointed by the president to be his national security advisor.
So are your colleagues suggesting that they're concerned about the efficacy of the FBI?
They're concerned about two important decisions that Comey made, and that has at least diminished Democrats' confidence in him. In my case, I have some level of confidence in the director.
Okay. Did you hear anything in that meeting that gave you concern or pause about the incoming Trump administration?
Well, it needs to be investigated, and we have no idea whether it will lead, is whether there was any American who was involved in supporting or coordinating this Russian hacking. I'm old enough to remember Watergate. That was a matter of burglarizing the files of the Democratic National Committee. Back then, files, it's hard to remember this, were in metal cabinets in manila folders. Now I see another burglary, a cyber burglary, because files aren't in cabinets. They're on email servers. So if any American was involved in that, that's important. The fact that the intel community would give some credence to this 35-page dossier is reason enough to say, let's run to ground all of the charges. Let's take it seriously. That doesn't mean it should have been leaked, but it has been.
Before I lose you, I only have about 30 seconds. One of your colleagues, John Lewis, had claimed that the Donald Trump presidency is not legitimate. What say you?
Donald Trump was elected president. That was not my choice. There were many issues in how that race was run. I've seen issues in other campaigns as well, and we accepted the legitimacy of George W. Bush, notwithstanding the fact that they didn't do a full recount. I think that Donald Trump is going to be president.
Very good, Congressman. Thank you very much for joining us.